I'm going to go ahead then and show you how to do tomorrow's assignment, which is suns and moons. So first things first, as always, we got to open our good friend Adobe After Effects. We're going to go and grab a new composition. In this assignment, we're going to set it to be 20 seconds long. So down at the duration, make sure it says semicolon 0 0 semicolon 20 semicolon 0 0. That will get us 20 seconds of video. So as we go down here, we're going to draw a circle in the center of the composition and call that sun. So again, I'm going to go in and grab my ellipsoid tool and draw myself a happy circle. If I hold shift, it becomes a perfect circle, which is what we're always going for here, perfection. We're perfectionists here. There's my beautiful sun. I'm going to go in and name this thing, this bad boy, sun, rename, sun. So now that I've sunned myself, I'm going to change the shape so that the fill color is set to yeller and that there is no stroke. So up here, fill color, a nice yeller, how beautiful, and make sure that it says no stroke, or if, I guess. Yeah, we don't want no stroke. Make sure you get this guy, this little red line slashing through the box. Okie dokie, artichoke. Now we're going to duplicate this sun, and from the sun we will make the moon. So go and click and make a copy. You can just select this layer, Command C, Command V. Now we've got sun 2. We're going to rename that sun 2 as, where are you, dear thing? We're going to name this moon. And then, as we go down, we're going to change the fill color of the moon to be black. So the moon becomes more of an eclipse generator. Then, we're going to add a glow effect to the sun. So we're going to grab a good old-fashioned sun. And then we want to bring up the effects panel, which is over here. So down over here, we have these effects. We're looking for the one called glow. If you can't find something, always just type it in there. We want glow. Just regular old glow, not VR glow, not stylized dimension glow and shadow. We just want glow. So there's our glow. Now the sun's a-glowing. If we click on that glow effect, so we open up the sun, and then go into effects, and then go into glow. And we have all of these glow controls. We want to change the glow radius to 300 glows. That's the unit of measurement, I suppose. Then we're going to go ahead to the 9-second keyframe, or you can just go up here and just change this to go to time 9 seconds and no frames, if you want to be precise. 9 seconds. So now we're at 9 seconds, and we're going to create a keyframe next to glow radius. So I click my create keyframe button. Hooray. Then we go on and we move ahead to the 10-second mark, or type in here if we're trying to be very specific here. 10 semicolon 0 0 oakley dokley. Then we're going to change this radius to be 1,000. Boom, even bigger. Then we're going to move to keyframe to frame at 11 seconds and change it back to 300. So we'll go back to 11. And now we want not 1,000, but 300. So what we're making it happen is that the glow gets real big and then it fades back down. Cool, we've done it. We've made the sun do cool things. We can even play this back with the spacebar to see what the heck we were just asked to do. So we play this. Let's see it, folks. Wow. What a glow. Let's keep going. Maybe it'll get more exciting. We're going to move the playhead to the first frame. We want to move the moon layer to the bottom right corner of the composition. So we're going to go over to the moon. We're going to grab this moon. We're going to grab this moon. And we're going to transform its position. Now, they're doing this in an order that I would say is odd. I'm going to tell you to not do what they've done because it's going to make it very difficult for us. Because we basically want the moon to perfectly intersect this sun, and to do that again, just randomly, that would be very difficult. So I'm going to go ahead to the 10-second frame. This is where I'm going to vary from these instructions because I have done this before, folks. And I'm going to say that this position should start being animated right here, dead center, so that this thing ends up perfecto. Then I'm going to go to the first frame, and I'm going to move it down to the left corner like they asked, somewhere down here. If I want to see the whole thing, I'm going to say that please fit. There we go, so I can see my whole composition. I'm going to have the moon fly over from there. Then I'm going to go over to the end of my composition, and I'm going to say the position of the moon should be somewhere over there. So now that the moon perfectly passes in front of the sun right at the right point. Look how beautiful. So now we're going to add a lens flare. So in order to do that, I've got to go and create a new adjustment layer. So we're going to close up these moons and suns real quick. And then it wants me to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. That's the kind of layer we want. So we've got this beautiful adjustment layer, and we're going to rename this to be called First Flare. First Flare. Now that we've got First Flare, we're going to go into the Effects and Presets panel and search for Lens Flare. So again, we got to go over here, and we have to type in Lens Flare. And we're going to take that lens flare and we're going to apply it to our adjustment layer. You can just drag it right on that first flare. Boom. Now, we're going to open this effects thing up again. Not lock it. Go to effects and then go to lens flare. And we are going to change the position of the lens flare so that it is slightly above and to the left of the center of the sun layer. Okie dokie. So we're going to grab the center. We want it to be somewhere so that it intersects the top left portion of the sun. Ta-da. Then we're going to move the playhead so it is at the 2-second mark and create a keyframe. Okay, so we just go in here, 200, goes to 2 seconds. Then we want to keyframe the flare center, so click that. Then we move the playhead to the 9-second mark. You can type in 900, 9 and 00 frames. So now we're at 900, and we want to change it so that its position is towards the upper left corner of the sun. They said slightly above and to the left, and now they want it in the upper left corner. Well, we can do that. We have the technology. I'm going to move this even farther up. I can even go back to the beginning here. And I'm going to actually take this first keyframe, which is at 2 seconds. Let's go back to 2. And I'm actually going to put that position more towards the center than I initially did, so that the flare moves with this body. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do, I think, one more. Move the playhead to the first frame and change the brightness to 0. Okay, easy peasy. Goose egg at 0. And then we're going to go to 2 seconds and make a keyframe. Then move to 9 and 15 frames, so 9:15. And we're going to bring its brightness up to 150%. Boom. Then we move to the 10-second point and make it down to 0. So go to 10 and make it 0. So you press spacebar. What that does is it makes it so as the moon approaches the sun, A flare starts to appear. Bum, 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 bum. And then the moon passes the thing. Okay, cool. Now we need the sun to flare again as the moon passes from the other side. So we're going to, again, go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. And this one is going to be renamed to be Second Flare. And now, again, I'm going to grab the lens flare and put it on this second flare. This time they want it to be on the bottom left edge of the sun to be its starting position. Okay. So I move this guy, and this time I want it to be down at the bottom right corner of the sun. Cool. Then I'm going to move the playhead to the 10-second mark, as it asks. And now that I'm at the 10-second mark, I'm going to create a keyframe for flare center. Then go to the 18-second mark, 1800, and move it to the center. So we're basically doing the opposite of what we did last time. Cool. And then we're going to move the playhead to the 10-second mark. 10, 0, 0. And we're going to animate that brightness again. So it's going to start off with brightness 0. And we're going to fade up to move the brightness at 1015. So 10 seconds, 15 frames. We want it to go to 150% brightness. Just a big old bright boy. Then we're going to go to 18 seconds. And we're going to knock this bad boy again down to 0. Okie dokie. If we press the play button, I think we have succeeded in making a celestial body pass in front of the sun. Bum, 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 bum. Wow, wasn't that beautiful? So now that we have created a sun with a moon passing in front of said sun, it's time to export. So we need to go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue, and we're going to change its output again. We need to put that in a project file. We're going to make a new one called 2024. That is the year we live in right now. 12. If this is in the future, then you need to change it to be with your future year. And this one is called Suns and Moons. Remember, the 12 is for December. You should know that by now, but just a reminder. So, yes. And then I'm going to save this bad boy as Suns and Moons. Now, in the instructions, it says to export this as a .mov file. That will just make it unnecessarily large file format. We're not even going to bother with that. We're just going to go over here and press the render button. And in a few seconds, these 600 beautiful frames will be exported. Now, the rest of these instructions are to show you how to create different kinds of exports for different platforms. That's not necessary. For this class, we'll just mess around with H.264. Also, the Vimeo export it's talking about is kind of outdated, so we're not going to even bother. All right, folks. So now that you got your video, you know the routine. Let's go into our Google Drive folder, find our digital design folder. There's our Suns and Moons file. Right-click, go to Share with Google Drive. You need to copy that link and then submit it to me on Schoology. Have a good one. Happy holidays. Suns and Moons.